I am not sure who among you here are into digital marketing. Right, that's cool. And let's go deeper. Who knows SEO? All right. I don't have to introduce SEO then. Everybody knows SEO. Okay. Let's see. Let's move. It's okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. We're back. All right. So for today's topic, it's grow from anywhere, get found, get featured. So the main thing that I wanted to share is how we as freelancers or agency owners or small business owners could actually live the life that we want, or let's say become digital nomads while still running our business, because being a digital nomad still needs money, of course, for our living and for us to have the freedom to do a lot of activities. Okay. So, in the past, when I was starting out as a freelancer, I have realized that a lot of people are actually very talented. A lot of companies have very good employees. But the problem is that they are still struggling. They are struggling to scale, they are struggling to stay afloat. And the reason behind that is because of visibility. They do not have any presence online. People do not know their businesses. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter how good your products are or how good your services are. If people do not know you or they cannot see you, then it's pretty much useless. Right? So, for us to have the visibility, which is equal to freedom, what matters is, first, to create our own visibility. Because visibility means endless opportunities. We have to be visible enough so that the opportunities will come to us. And with the opportunities coming to us with the visibility, authority will follow, which means more and more people will trust us, not just our businesses, not just our agencies or the services that we offer, but us as a person. So it's also about building your personal brand, more so like building your businesses. And the last thing that would matter is actually your consistency or growth. So it doesn't matter if you're able to build visibility or authority. If you are not consistent, then you will just drop out of the planet. Especially in today's age where AI and the internet is used by everybody, a lot of businesses are closing down because they are not adapting to what is trending right now. Right? So, for you to be able to build a growth engine, whether it is for your personal brand, for your business, or for your agency, you will need to have all of these five. These five are connected. And if you do not follow these, even if you are so good with, let's say, digital PR, if your foundation is not good, then you will not be able to maximize, or you will not be able to have the full potential of your business. So the first one, let's talk about conversion-driven design. That is your CRO. So I'm not sure who among you are web developers here, but CRO, for those who are not so familiar, is how you present your website. So let's say, for example, your website is offering your services. So it is how you position like the buttons, like contact us or connect with me or buy, the buy button. So it matters how you position them. It also matters how you design your website, the images that you use, how big are they, how they would look like overall when people are looking at your website. So this one is actually partnered with technical SEO. Technical SEO is the foundation or the backbone of every single website because this also determines how fast your website is loading. I'm pretty sure a lot of us is very conscious with the websites. So say for example, we're searching something and then we are trying to load a website and it's not loading. What we do is we click on the next one. So even if your product is the best, if your website is not performing well, it will not matter. Another one, I'm gonna go deeper into these later on, is your content and on-page optimization. This is your keywords, especially in today's AI world. So your content and on-page optimization is important. The keywords that you use, not just on your articles, but also on your landing pages, is also very important. And how you position those keywords on your landing pages as well as the articles or your blog pages matters a lot because that will help you a lot in getting visible when people are searching, or especially in Google's AI overview or the LLM. So that is a very important factor. And of course, we will also be discussing about authority building, which is some link building strategies. I will be discussing on how you will be gaining your visibility through that. And of course, how to expand your visibility through digital PR, which means we are going to talk about how to target not just like online publications, but magazines, how you can actually get cited in Yahoo or MSN without paying. Right. So, have you ever heard about the build from anywhere philosophy? So it is actually, I've heard about it from a digital nomad as well. So he told me that you actually do not need an office, a big team, or to pay for ads. What you need is a system that actually builds trust and a system that you can rely on so that when you are offline, it can still run your business, it can still run your agency, and it can still help you grow and earn money. So that's what we are going to talk about as well today. Right. Okay, first off, as I've mentioned, these are the non-negotiables before you even go to link building or digital PR. The first one, as I've mentioned earlier, you need a fast website. Your core web vitals is important. How fast your pages are loading, if your images are even loading, or like, say for example, your website did load, but the contents are very slow in showing up, or whatever design that you've put there, like the images are heavy, or you've created like a biography, a very, very long description of your services that people get bored. So you have to mix them all together here. And of course, the second one, this is for people who knows SEO, is your crawlability. So if you click on a link and then it will show you 404, it does not exist, or it will be routing you to a whole different website, then that is a no-no. You will be losing trust from people. Another one, we do have different strategies on how we do this. But for me, what is working is there is only one topic per page. There is only one main keyword per page supported by keywords that are related to it. The reason for that is because it makes Google, or it helps Google easily recognize what that page is all about rather than going back and forth. So it helps Google understand what you are trying to talk about, what you are offering, or what you want your audience to understand as well. And the first one, it should be conversion ready. So if you are going to click buy now, and then it keeps routing you on different pages over and over and over and over again, for me, I would just stop, find another, or I would just think that, okay, I'm gonna buy later, but I will never go back. So that is one less conversion for you. So your website has to be conversion ready. So when people click on the buy button or when people click on your services, there is a clear call to action as to what's the next step. Are they going to pay? Are they going to choose for the services that they're going to go for? And of course, the last one, oh, that's the fourth one. All right. So the thing is that no matter if you are building like thousands of backlinks, if your foundation in SEO is not strong, if your website is bad, if the design of your website is bad, and it is not interesting enough, then it's not going to give you the conversions. It will give you conversions, but not as much as what you need. Okay. So if you're going to do your foundational, your basics for SEO, these are some of the tools that we use. PageSpeed Insights, that's free. Hotjar, and of course, Ahrefs. So I would say if you're in SEO, most probably you have used Ahrefs and you are using it every single day. And we also have Google Search Console. It's also free, so you will be able to check the status of your website, do a lot of research, and from there, you can plan what your next step is. So, a site that loads fast, communicates clearly, and converts visitors actually gives you more traffic than having a very fancy one. Alright, so I did not want to stay there for a long time because our topic for today is actually link building and digital PR, so I just gave like a brief overview. So once your foundation for SEO is ready, then we can actually move on to the on-page one, which is, in today's world, it should speak Google's language. So I've already discussed each page should focus on like a keyword, and the page should have a very clear intent. So whenever you visit the page, it should be showing you what it is about. It should not give you confusion. And the thing is that the clearer the page is, the higher your chances are for conversion. Second one, of course, are your keywords. So you have to strategically put your keywords into, first of all, your main keyword has to be on the title, it has to be on your meta, and then it has to be in at least one of your H1 headers. For the keywords, I do not recommend like keyword stuffing. Like every other sentence, you will be inserting your keyword there because in the past it would have worked. But these days, people are actually looking for something that is trustworthy. We are wanting to like build authority and not just like increase our rankings and everything. And of course, the third one for on-page SEO is your internal linking. So say you created an article that is talking about co-working spaces. So you will be connecting or you will be linking that article into your landing or product pages that is also relevant to co-working spaces. So whatever you are going to link in a page has to be related to each other. And of course, for your articles, I have seen a lot in the past where they do not have like FAQ section, But if you want to get cited in AI overviews, you should put an FAQ section in every article that you have or in your landing pages. And the format has to be, it is better if it is in a question form. It should be answering the questions that people will be asking, and the answers should be simple enough. Do not put answers that are like 5 to 10 sentences long. 1 to 2 sentences that is very clear and short that answers the question is enough. Alright, so this is an example that I created. So say for example, your main topic is email finder. So your supporting topics that would help email finder. Let's just put it as an example. I used to work for Hunter.io, so we grew the website. One of our product pages is email finder. So the first thing that we have to do is not just to promote the landing page or the product page for email finder. We have to make sure that we have enough resources to actually grow it. So what we did was to create articles, evergreen guides. When we say evergreen guides, they are long-form articles that are mostly giving instructions on how something is done. Or say, it could also be like the best tools. So we are not scared of mentioning other email finder tools because people will still see it and then compare the product, and that's how our product team could actually also excel. And we also created like articles on how they work. We showed some use cases and some case studies. So the outcome was Google was able to see the topical depth of this email finder, and then it slowly developed its authority, and it took about over a year for us to reach #1 in ranking, but it has been stable for years and years now, and no matter how many competitors have actually tried, Hunter still remains #1 for their product keywords. Alright, another thing that you can actually create for your blog post would be authority assets. So you can create like downloadables. People love checklists, templates. They want like PDFs that would help them. Another thing is you can actually quote other experts in the field, because you will be if they are very popular, you are giving them traffic, but at the same time, if they are famous, they are also pulling you, so you are benefiting from each other. Right, so you can reach out to them, you can even promote them, and most likely they will just say that, oh, thank you, and they will also promote you in their social media pages, in their YouTube, in their LinkedIn. And with that, you are able to like build a content that not just earns attention and shares, but that is actually really helpful to people. Right. So another thing that you can do is, if you have like statistics, or if you have done any research in-house in your team, then you can create shareable assets. One of the most powerful one is infographics and process visuals. You could just easily share it, and people will not hesitate to just link to it, which is giving you free advertisement actually and free visibility. Right. Another thing that we actually use is reverse image search. So how do you do this? If you have a stronger brand, there will be a lot of websites or a lot of posts that will be using your images, and they will not credit you, they will not give a credit, or they will just mention you without a link. So what we usually do is we reach out to them and then just ask them to keep using our images. It's all right, but we would appreciate it if they would give us a credit, or we would actually share further images with them, or a very informative article that will help them strengthen this image further. So that is another link for us. And okay, the third one, of course. The third one is, if you are able to create like the infographics or images, just create create or embed them in your website so that you will be able to track if they are actually being used. And I think they're not here, but Kyle, Roof, and Neil, they actually developed like a tool. So if you're going to install that plugin on your WordPress site, it will check all the images from your website that is being used on other websites. And it will also let you know if these are linked to yours or not. So it is a very great tool. I'm not sure if they have launched it yet, but it's worth a try. Alright, so for digital nomads, one of the good things about us is our network. We meet a lot of people, we make friends with a lot of people from different, let's say different niche. So sometimes you would meet like a developer or a social media person. So the thing is that we could easily connect. So if we have these, we can help each other. If they are into social media, they could share our blog post, and then in return, we could also mention them in our blog post, and then we could help each other. We could just post on LinkedIn and then support each other. They could share it. Or one thing is that you can also try to do your own like research as to what are trending in LinkedIn right now, what formats of post is very popular. So I believe right now the format that people love is whenever you are offering something like comment and then like this post and comment, and I will send you the checklist or I will send you this guide. So that is very popular on LinkedIn. So if you have resources, if you have templates, feel free to repurpose them and then post them on LinkedIn. Also, the third one, it is not, or I'm not sure how popular it is right now, but I am pretty sure that it has changed the landscape of SEO. That would be Reddit. There are a lot of Reddit services right now, and the best thing is for you to capitalize on it. A lot of people, instead of checking the articles, they would just go to Reddit, they would just go to Quora for answers on their questions. So if you strategically position your brand on Reddit, and what you can actually do is not be promotional. That's the secret. You do not just put links on Reddit. What you do is you answer questions that would really give value and very, very subtly start mentioning your brand. And when people start seeing your brand on Reddit, they will just get curious, they will research it, and eventually, if you have enough karma points or if you have established yourself on Reddit, that's the time that you can check on some subreddits that are allowing like posts or that are allowing links, but do not link again to your product pages. People appreciate it if you are linking to something that is helpful, that is informative to them. Another one, of course, is newsletters. So you can always grow your email list by giving out, as I mentioned earlier, like on LinkedIn. If you are giving out like templates or resources or guides, you are collecting their email addresses, and you can also use that for your newsletters. And when people are interested enough, especially when they read your newsletter, it would convert into traffic into your website and eventually sales, or if it's services, of course, subscriptions. And another thing that is popular right now, some people are even using TikTok for SEO. Some people are using Instagram. So people like something that is short. A lot of people are finding like the 15 or 20-minute videos a bit boring. So what you can do is, instead of creating like 15-minute videos, you could just create 3-minute ones, and it would also like give a lot of people like, it would just divide it into parts so that you will keep people hooked. So say for example, for the first day you are going to talk about let's say CRO. The second day you're going to talk about tech SEO. The third day you're going to talk about content. Fourth day link building. So rather than just dumping everything all at once, it is better to just segment everything. Alright, now on to the main topic. Alright. So link building. Okay. Now that you have like a strong content, or you have already started to establish your foundations for your brand or your website, it is time to make the internet find out about you. Okay, to advanced, right? So your content could actually become your foundation in building authority and credibility. Right, so what is link building? Is there anyone who doesn't know link building? Everybody knows, alright? No need to introduce about it. Alright, so when sites are linking to you or to your site, it is giving a signal to Google that this site is trustworthy. But of course, it depends on the site that is linking to you. So if it is like an untrustworthy or a shady site, of course, that's a different story. Right? So these are the different types of link building strategies that is very helpful when you are starting out or when you are scaling or growing your brand. The first one, of course, would be your foundational authority. So you have created your resource pages, you have created your templates. Now you could actually use them in certain communities, just like Reddit and Quora, after you have established your presence in those communities. So make your answers as helpful as possible, and whenever it is appropriate or whenever it is necessary, you can just easily drop your resource page or a link to your guide, and people will appreciate it. It is building trust and credibility for your brand, while at the same time, it is making your brand discoverable. So the thing is that whenever you search for something like, say, in ChatGPT, if you check the sources, most of the time for every single search that you're gonna make, Reddit is included. So if you are on Reddit, if you're establishing your brand on Reddit and you are answering questions there the informative way, do not just say, oh yes, it is helpful. That's not gonna make you establish your presence on Reddit. Give something that is useful, even if it is just 2 or 3 sentences, but just put some effort into it. And do not use AI to answer a thread on Reddit and then expect that AI would cite you. So it just, if you are going to use AI, make sure that you edit it and it doesn't really look like an AI answer. So sometimes there are like Reddit posts and there are answers that I saw, and then at the end it says like, would you like to, and blah, 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 blah. So it's very ChatGPT obvious, right? Okay, now the next thing that you can do is actually do guest posting. When I was starting out, I did not have anything on me. Nobody knows me. And I just started to try to reach out until some websites actually gave us opportunities for guest posting. And guest posting, I would say, is not always expensive. You could get it for free if you are offering value. So if you are starting out and you want to do guest posting, make sure that you focus on value first rather than being promotional. The goal is to start building your brand and your authority, which in turn will give you visibility, which in turn will give you the credibility and eventually the conversions. Do not jump on chasing for conversions immediately because it's not going to be long-term, it's not going to be sustainable. Right? So I will be showing you how it's done in a bit. And then of course the last one would be earned mentions. So you could promote your tools, your data resources, and then reach out through Haro, quoted or featured. There are free and there are paid options for this one. So journalists usually have queries. They have questions about certain topics that they will be writing about. So you have to answer and pray that you will get cited as a source. So Haro is free. It is being delivered like 3 times daily, so there are a lot of options. And the reporters are from big sites, Yahoo, MSN, Forbes, CNN. So if you want to have free links, Haro is a very strong option. So these are the things that I would personally want to avoid if I am doing link building. That would be the spammy directories and the paid link farms. When we say paid link farms, if you're going to check their website, you will see that they are talking about different topics, posting like 5 to 10 articles every day. and of course like random blog exchanges. When you are trying to link to each other, make sure at least that everything is relevant or related to your own respective niches, or at least it can be connected. So it is not possible for like, say for example, we are talking about, say, pool service software, and you are trying to link it to a travel website. That is giving a very, very red flag. Right. So yeah, for spammy directories, you can see there the referring domains, there are like thousands, but the traffic is zero. So obviously they are just publishing content, but there is really no value. And it doesn't matter, even if you post a very good content on that particular site, if it has zero traffic, it means nobody will ever see your article. So it doesn't really make sense. All right. Another thing, this is the one that I was talking about earlier. You see here the topics, the categories, there are just so many that are not related. So one thing, they're talking about crypto, and then business tips and content marketing, and then monitors, projectors. So you would not want to link to those sites. Yes, there is a possibility that if they have good traffic, it will pull you up for a bit, but it's not sustainable, and you might even get penalties if you're linking to these kinds of sites. Alright, now another thing that you can actually do is to check your competitors in Ahrefs. Check what your the most successful competitors that you have and see what they are doing. So it's spying, but it's pretty normal in digital marketing. So you check your competitors, you see where are they linking, what kind of articles they are posting, and are they active on social media, on LinkedIn, and then you check their traffic. So if you see that their traffic is steadily increasing, then it means that what they are doing is working, and you could do that for your own website. But since you've already proven that theirs is working, you can make yours much, much better and of course overtake them. So that's how it works. That's why there's always competition. One day this website is up, and then the next month another website is going up because they have already studied what's working. Right, so you could also check your competitors for the top pages. As I've said, check the articles that they are publishing. Check the top pages, like which of those pages have page traffic. So there is a difference between the domain traffic, that is just the traffic of the website, and there is a difference with a certain article. So if you see a certain article and it says page traffic 1,000, that article is performing really well and it's really worth checking. And if you do not have that certain topic on your blog yet, you better get started in doing your research and make sure that it is so much better than that article, so you would have a chance of overtaking it because people are interested in that topic. Right. Okay. So there are a lot of ways to actually find websites that you could guest post to, but the problem is that a lot of people are not good copywriters. We can be marketers, we can be salespeople, but we are not copywriters. We do not know how to create a compelling enough email that would convince people to actually let us write for their website. So the possibility is they will ignore you, or they will be asking for payment. But if you position yourself properly, if you give enough value on your pitch, you would make it like intriguing enough for them, then definitely you would get a yes. So there are a lot of things that you can use, but I'm sharing you the templates from hunter.io. These has been tested and proven over the years. So most of these templates, it's either our team tested it or other marketers have actually tested it, so they are working. So it is very varied. There are templates for guest posting, for finding jobs, for finding clients, for selling products, and many other things. You could check them out. You could use them as is, or you could tailor them for your own brand. Right. So here is an example of what I was talking about earlier. It is very difficult to get a yes for guest post, but it is possible. So for this one, I reached out to a very competitive website. It's workable.com. It's an HR website. And at that time, they have almost 1 million in traffic, DR92. And usually they are not accepting guest posts, but we gave them something strong enough that is interesting for them, interesting for their audience, that is ranking with their competitors, but not yet on their own website. And we were allowed to actually guest post for them. And this is not even with me representing a brand like Hunter.io. I was representing myself as Kris. So my team reached out to them and we were given a free guest post. So that was a very huge boost for us. So it doesn't matter if you are just a very small agency owner like me, if you strive enough and if you show that you are competitive enough, then you will get free guest posts just like with this one that we got from Workable. Right. Okay, so yes, this is an example from the link that I have given earlier. So you will be able to see it there as well. We often use it. So all you have to do is just fill in the blanks. So it is very easy. So if for this one it doesn't work, test the other templates. Do some revisions. Maybe it's the subject line that's not working. Maybe it's your line opener that's not working. Maybe it's the body that is not working. So you can keep testing until you see that there is a result. And whenever you see, say for example, you are already achieving a result, then duplicate it and make it even better. And another thing is that for pitching guest posts, if you are trying to approach a website for a guest post, what you can really do is to check their competitors. Check for a topic that their competitors are ranking for and they are not, and then pitch it to them. That, for me, 70 to 80% gives me a yes for a guest post. Alright. Now, whenever you are actually in the link building industry already, even if you are not a link builder, the thing is you do not just take and take. It is always give and take. So, if they gave you a link and you cannot provide a link back, but you have a very strong social media presence, or if you have a YouTube channel, a shout out would be very much appreciated. So what we are aiming for whenever we are doing link building is not just one-time exchanges, but more like to create lasting relationships, because you do not know when you will be needing each other again for collaboration, maybe, because what we were doing before is, typical link building, but we were building relationships. So when one of our partners started their podcast, they invited us. When we started our podcast, we invited them. So it's an ongoing relationship, and it's very important. It matters a lot when you are trying to build your visibility and your authority. Right. Another thing, try to be active in communities just like Reddit and Quora. So, for me personally, I use Reddit a lot. Slack groups, if you want to do some link exchanges with real websites, there are a lot of free Slack communities that you can join into, and then you can meet people there. Just be polite, be very respectful, so you will not get kicked out. Right? So this is one of the campaigns that I launched, and this was actually for a resource page. And as you can see there, we sent 99 emails, because whenever I'm testing, I send 100. I don't know what happened, so 99 was sent. The open rate was actually 46%, which is pretty good, and the reply rate is 10%. That is very okay with me, because as you can see, everything was a yes. And not even just a yes, they've already linked to our resource. So your email copy really, really matters a lot. Okay, so I think this is just an addition. So if you want to create assets that people would want to cite, a very strong one would be tools, free calculators, even if it is just basic ones. People appreciate free stuff. Okay. And we've already covered stats pages, templates, infographics, so we can see that. Now let's talk about journalist outreach. So if you are into featured or haro, and whenever you are reading like a query from a journalist, you have to make sure that you read it properly. What do they really want? What answer are they looking for? And what would make your answer unique for you to be included in that article? Right? So also make sure that your answers is short. We usually just create 3 to 5 sentences whenever we are answering, because if it is long, the journalist would not even read it. They are reading like tons and tons of answers every day, and mostly they are in a hurry to create their articles. So if you're gonna write like 10 long sentences, most probably they will not read it. And to make yourself more credible, make sure to include your name, your role, and your website. So over time, if you keep doing it very consistently, then you will become a go-to expert that journalists will be quoting. So it is not impossible for a journalist from CNN or from Forbes to directly reach out to you in the future asking for your expert opinion on a topic, because they know that you are an expert, or you have already positioned yourself as an expert on a certain topic, or as an industry leader. Right? So this is, it is broken, but yeah. Another example, this is how it looks like when you get quoted. So they would put your quote, and then they would put your name and your company or your agency. That's a free link. Right there. It's broken again. I think I'm just gonna send you the presentation afterwards. So this was actually a case study which was really good. Let me show you instead. Alright. So everything that I have discussed with you so far, we have implemented it on this website. This is the 4 months result of a website. So we started, of course, with technical fixes, but this is a SaaS website, so it runs on Webflow. That's why we have our developers working on it. I did the consulting for the technical setup, but it was executed by...
Whoa.
No, Shane, even the TV doesn't work good. The whole. Yeah. Air conditioning.
We are back.
Alright, so yeah, let's continue. So this